Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to the Stream Space, or welcome back if you've been here before. We are here for our Switch 2 1 week later. Okay, so we did our unboxing for the Switch. We showed it off a little, played a little bit of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, and even just playing a game like that, the performance improvements were actually very noticeable for me. I remember how choppy just trying to play the first fight with Sandman was, and the console itself really shone in that moment. So we took the week to experiment with it and try out just other games that we had problems with. So obviously we had to do the user transfer and get all our save data brought over from other games so that we're not starting every single game over. And a couple of games that I tried out to see if I could, really push it a little was, for one, it was the Bulletstorm Reloaded. I think it was the full clip edition for the Nintendo Switch. Sorry, Duke O Switch edition is actually what it's called. And it lets you actually play as Duke Nukem and use his voice lines and such. But I'm not playing that mode. I just wanted to play the regular mode. And even just playing that is it's massively easier to play than, say, on the Switch Lite or the OLED. Because as pretty as the OLED is, the Switch Lite, the OLED, and the V1, V2s all have the same hardware. So in our time of these consoles, they have not done any upgrades to the hardware until now. Now, it's ironic, one thing I noted, is that the two things that they changed, that they didn't really upgrade, were the two things they did upgrade on the OLED. So I think what's going to happen is in a year or so, they're going to make an announcement about an OLED model. It'll probably be white, and it will have an OLED screen and potentially and hopefully a bigger battery. One of the downsides is that they did go back to a smaller battery. It has a bigger screen though, but that screen is not it's not an OLED screen, so it's definitely not as nice. So to give you some perspective on that, in case you're kind of curious, that's the screen, and I'll flip it on for you. Okay, what I will tell you, it does still look like pretty damn good. It is still a super high quality screen. It's not quite OLED, but it honestly, as someone who I don't really care about that stuff. Like, the OLEDs are brighter and the colors are a little more washed out, fleshed out even in some cases. I'd still take this one over that, and it's mainly because it is a more comfortable system to use in terms of the size. So, like, with the Joy-Cons being bigger, they just fit in your hand nicer. It's easier to play on this one versus the OLED. Now, of course, you can get, HoriPad, Split Pad Pros and such, and those are better than your regular controllers, but that's a preference thing, right? The real games where this is shining, though, is just, like, some of the more intensive 3D games, like, even Skyrim Complete Edition plays nicer on this, and I mean, I would hope so, because that's on a platform from like 2013. 2011 is when that game was made originally, and I think it's the same version, right? Sorry, I'm just checking something. Yeah, that's not. Deal with that later. Okay, so I would say that, so 1 week later, we got a chance to really try out some of the games that are, faster paced, or just games I noticed there was a massive lag on. They just didn't play as nicely. Frame drops were bad. On this, I'm not seeing that problem, and I would hope not, because it has, like, I think the gigahertz on it was way higher, and it does sit reasonably in the same arena as the other two main consoles. Obviously, I wouldn't say it's as powerful as a Series X or a PS5, but I would say it is at least on their level now. what I've played of it for its own game is Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma, and that game is, I would hope that even on a normal Switch that could play nicely, but I bet that it would struggle. I actually would be not surprised if it struggled. So I think where this console is really shining is just allowing us a true Switch Pro experience, which I feel like calling it the Switch 2 is a bit of a stretch. I think it's more of a Switch Pro because it's now sitting on better graphics hardware than it has before, but still not quite enough to put it at the same level as the main consoles that are dominating the market right now. What I've played on it so far, I have been very, very happy with. Like from Ultimate Alliance, Skyrim, Bulletstorm, and I'm going to actually play Marvel vs. Capcom on this and see how that plays. I mean, obviously that is an animated game. That's like hand-drawn animations and stuff, so I feel like that's going to play fine. Your main issues will be in the world of 3D, and I don't see this one having those problems. It's been a good system to try out this week. I have been almost exclusively playing it. The only time I didn't was when I was playing Street Fighter with my cousin, and that was Street Fighter 6. Now, that's a game, again, though, that I could have bought on this system, but I'm not going to mess with the whole game keycard license thing. I'm not going to do that. I won't be buying any of those games. I just am not interested in having to spend $90 to play a game that the only way I'm going to get to play it is if they say I can, right? So if they shut down the servers, you can no longer download the game, well, guess what? You don't have the game anymore. This is the unfortunate path and trend that we are going down with things like Game Pass and Nintendo Switch Online, even PS Plus to an extent. It is that you don't own anything unless you have a subscription service, which, I mean, if you got PS Plus, yeah, you get those games of the month, but if you stop paying for it for even a moment, it's gone. You know, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, any game you're playing on there, if you don't want to pay for Ultimate anymore, it's gone. So I am very much more for these games that actually have games on them, right? So that kind of, I think, sums up my review of this. I mean, as far as like a system goes, it's a more comfortable system, it's a more powerful system. You can do a lot more with it in terms of performance, and I mean, I'm not out to say, so like some people have been reporting issues with the batteries or getting weird glitches when they undock it, and I'm not sure why they would be seeing those. That's hard to say. I mean, it is only the first month that has been out, but I'm not seeing any of that stuff. And even playing Fortnite on it was fine. It was perfectly acceptable. It wasn't choppy. It looked good. I think that the main issue is the launch lineup is full of titles that have already been out, and some of the ones that aren't out are not even on the cartridge. So you're going to be putting that cart in, and then unlike many regular Switch games where you could put the cart in and start playing, you're not going to be doing that on this one. You're going to put the cart in, it's going to download, and you're going to wait. Which is a problem that I have with the other two systems. I actually hate them for it, because anytime that I try to plan a game night, it seems like I am dealing with update after update. Or in one case, I had Black Ops uninstall itself completely, and I don't know why, because I didn't uninstall it. And then it had to reinstall the whole game, so my date night was actually ruined by this practice. So if I were telling somebody, should you get this or should you not, I would ask what games they play, honestly. If they're playing games like, high-speed 3D games, then this one's for you. Like, this will do what you need it to. But if you're like a pixel gamer, then maybe you don't necessarily need something like this, so you could probably hold off. And even pretty much all of its launch games are available for the normal Switch. Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Hogwarts Legacy. So the main titles that you would really get some time, Sonic Generations, the titles you would get some use out of, if you wanted to play a Switch 2 game. I mean, it's not worth getting this unless you're really gonna unless you have a lot of games like I do. So there are games that I just struggle to play on a smaller screen or on a Switch Lite because they're choppy, and I don't have that struggle here. So in almost every way, it is superior to the previous system, and it's so nice to see a system actually achieve that. This one, when you see games that are for it, you might actually be able to catch a better graphical hop than you would, say, you know, between the PS4 and the PS5, or the PS5 and the PS6 when that eventually happens. So I don't know. I'd say, yeah, if you're looking for a better performance on your existing titles, but also you want to try out some of the new library, but mainly focusing on the titles that are actually new, then you should go for this and don't totally get it. And I can't say that I've had any problems with things like battery life. I mean, I was playing for 3-4 hours off of battery with Guardians, and I didn't have any issues. So anyways, thanks for checking it out, guys. Hope you enjoyed this kind of like recap here. I mean, if you're like, why is this guy releasing a 1 week later and we don't have an unboxing? There is an unboxing video, so go check that out. So that will show you all the stuff it comes with, the new dock, go over all of its new features, and we do set it up and we do play Ultimate Alliance 3 for a bit. And that was a game that, I felt struggled a little on the original Switch. And it was unusual that it struggled the way that it did, because it's really not that intensive of a game. It's basically an isometric, Marvel Hero RPG. And it is fun, and it can be really fast-paced. There can be a lot going on the screen. But on this one, it didn't chop even once. So, anyways. So, thanks for checking out Stream Space. I'm Pydera. You can find me over on YouTube, Pydera Space 74, over on Twitch, Pydera_74. And you can support the channel a couple of different ways. Of course, there's liking, following, subscribing, but then in addition to that, there is our partnership with W.GG. They make energy drinks, but they also make tumblers, hats, sweaters. So if you go there and you use creator code Pydera74, no spaces, you'll actually get a discount, and I'll get a cut of the order. So, we both win on that one. In addition to that, there is our eBay page, which is ebay.ca/svretrotech, and we sell video games, collectibles, and all kinds of cool stuff on there. So if you go there, you can catch some pretty cool stuff, and hopefully get something that you were looking for. The last one, of course, is the most direct way, which is through our Streamlabs. You can definitely go there, and if you drop a tip on there and we can see who actually left it, I mean, maybe leave a comment to let us know you did it. We'll match it to your thing, and then we'll throw a shout out for you and also give you a say in some future content. Thanks for checking out the Stream Space. Thanks for checking out my review, and I will catch you guys later.